Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. I am Lynn Huber, and I want to welcome you out today. Thanks for being here. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so we know you were here. Anyway, let's talk about fear today, because I think that's something we all deal with. We all have things we're afraid of, and fear comes into our life all the time. And it's perfectly natural. We all have it, but we can't let it hold us back from the things that we're trying to accomplish or living our life the way we want to live it. So that's why I want to talk about it today. So bottom line, the one thing that trumps fear is action. Getting into action is what's going to get you out of fear. But I'm going to go through 5 truths today about fear, to help you get the overview picture of it and why you just want to deal with it. Just do it, right? So the first, there's a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. And it's a great book. And she talks about fear, and she talks about different kinds of fears and the truths about them and how to deal with them. But she has 3 different types of fears that she talks about. The first level she calls surface fears. These are fears about things that might happen, such as becoming disabled or losing your job or being alone or just the simple fear of changes. Just, people are afraid of changes, of the unknown, right? And it includes things that require action, such as changing your careers, ending or beginning a relationship, public speaking, intimacy, things like that. That's her first one. She calls that surface fears. The second level of fears, level 2, is what involved the ego. So these are fears with the inner state of mind rather than external situations. So it might be things like being rejected or being ridiculed or being embarrassed or what will they think of me? I think we deal in my business, in Avon, I think we deal with that a lot, Avon representatives. But even if you're in a job, there might be times when you are in a job and you might not speak out because you're worried about what other people are going to think about you. Again, it's just part of our normal life, right? We deal with it all the time. And then the third level and the final level of fears that Susan talks about are our deepest fears. So those level 3 fears are like the biggest fears of all, and they're the ones that really keep us stuck. So she talks about simply the fear that I can't handle it. And her point is that the bottom of every fear that you experience is the fear that you won't be able to handle whatever life brings you. But that, I guess, comes from that inferiority complex. That comes from us not being confident in ourselves. And she asked the question, and this is really profound. She says, what if you knew you could handle anything that came your way? What could you possibly have to fear? And the answer is nothing, because if you could handle anything that came your way, there's nothing to be afraid of. So, that's a good mantra to keep in your mind, right? What if you knew that you could handle anything that came your way? What could you possibly be afraid of? Right? Good one. So let's talk about some truths, okay? So truth number 1, the fear is never going to go away as long as you continue to grow. And we all want to grow. We all want to get better. We all want to do better. We all want to become more. And if we're doing that, we're going to always have fear. So it's really important to learn how to deal with it. Every time you take a step into the unknown, you experience fear. There's no point in saying, when I'm no longer afraid, then I'll do it, because that's not going to happen, right? Because you'll be waiting forever, because fear is part of the package. It's part of personal growth. Every person in the world feels it. Fear number 2, the only way to get rid of fear is to go out and do it. Just do it. So when you do it often enough, then you'll no longer be afraid in that particular situation. You will have faced the unknown, and you will have handled it. Check that out. And then new challenges await you, which certainly add to the excitement in living. So, I do that with my Avon reps. I talk to them about that all the time. A lot of times they're afraid to give a book to somebody. And, you're not asking somebody for something, you're offering them a book, right? But a lot of my reps are afraid. And, if you're in a job, if you're in your own business, whatever that is, you might run into the same thing. But if I can just get them to give out a couple of books, they find out that they faced their fear, they did it, and it wasn't as bad as they thought, and it's just really not. It's just a matter of get into action, do it, give out a couple of books, and you'll find out that some people really want to see your books and some don't. And that's okay too, because that's not going to kill you either, right? Fear number 3, the only way to feel better about yourself is to go out and do it. So every little step that you take into the unknown, it helps develop you to be stronger. It develops that pattern of strength, and you start feeling stronger and stronger. And every time you take another step, you feel stronger, and it starts empowering you. That's what I was just saying about the brochures. You know, you find out it wasn't as bad as you thought, and then you give out another one, and then you give out another one, and then you ask for contact information, and wow, you get better and better at it. It's really about doing it. Fear number 4. Not only are you afraid when you face the unknown, so is everybody else. You know, this should be a relief to you because you're not the only one that's feeling that fear. Everybody feels it. Everybody, if you're going into the unknown, everybody is afraid of the unknown. They don't know what to expect. And yet all those people who have succeeded in doing the things that they've accomplished, all these people that have accomplished great things, they felt the fear and they did it anyway. So did you. Look at some famous people. You look at some really famous people. Trust me, they have had to overcome a lot of fear to get where they are. And everyday Joe, you look around you, everybody you know, they face fear every day. And truth number 5, pushing through the fear is less frightening than living with the bigger underlying fear that comes with that feeling of helplessness. So this is the one truth that people have a hard time understanding. When you push through the fear, you'll feel such a relief and your feeling of helplessness is going to go away, but you will feel so empowered. It is huge. You'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. You'll wonder why you just didn't do it. And you'll become more and more aware that you really can handle anything that comes your way. And so that's really it. It's just feel the fear. It's okay to feel fear. Just know that everybody else does too, but feel it and do it anyway. So like, you know, I do this too. I work really hard to do that. I mean, sure, I have fear, but I just push myself through it. And you know what? Before long, that fear, I mean, it doesn't matter if I'm afraid or not afraid. That's irrelevant. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it whether I'm afraid or not. It's just irrelevant. So it's just something I know that I'm going to do. And my life works great either way, whether I'm afraid or not afraid, and I bet yours will too. So really, it's all about just feel the fear, do it, take the action. Action will help get you out of fear. And every time you take one more step, you become stronger and stronger. So, hey, let me know what your thoughts are. What are you afraid of? What have you overcome? What kind of fears have you overcome to be successful in whatever it is that you're doing? I'd love to hear. Get below. And if you have any tips, I'd love to hear those too. Just tell me in the comments below, okay? Anyway, thanks for being here with me today. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.